please read the book? She's got this.
Here we have She's Got This. Every day before school, Zoe watched the birds perched in the tree outside her bedroom window. She loved the way they hopped and balanced on the branches. She loved the way that they flew. As she ate her morning cereal, something on TV caught Zoe's eye. A gymnast was dancing along a beam, flipping and spinning and landing with her arms out, flying for real. Zoe wanted that too. Her dad took her shopping for a leotard. Her mom drove her to her first ever gymnastics class. Zoe loved stretching, tumbling, and swinging on the bars, but her favorite thing of all was the balance beam. Zoe learned to turn and to jump, light as a bird on a branch. Other kids in class wobbled, but not Zoe. Soon, Zoe was ready to fly, just like the gymnasts on TV. She stood on the end of the beam and gripped it with her toes. She lifted her arm, then she leaped. For a moment, Zoe flew. Then she hit the mat with a thump. Zoe's knee hurt, her shoulder hurt, her head hurt, inside her heart hurt too. That night, Zoe told her parents she didn't want to go back to gymnastics class. Because you fell? Her dad asked. When you were learning to walk, you'd fall down and get right back up. But Zoe didn't remember learning to walk. She did remember hitting the mat with a thump. One time I fell running a race, her older brother said. Then I picked myself up. You can't let a fall make you quit. But Zoe's brother was big and she was little. I fall all the time in karate, her older sister told Zoe. That's part of what we do. Learn to fall without getting hurt. But falling had hurt. Zoe didn't want to fall again. Let's go out, Zoe's mom said. Go out, asked her dad. Why? To celebrate, said her mom. Celebration meant ice cream with hot fudge and sprinkles. What are we celebrating? Asked Zoe's brother. Zoe's first fall, said Zoe's mom. It's good news. How is falling good news? Each fall makes you better, Zoe's mom told her. Now you have to try again. Maybe you'll fall, but maybe not. You won't know unless you try. A tiny bird soared over Zoe's head. The next week, Zoe went back to gymnastics. She did somersaults and cartwheels, she turned flips, and she danced along the beam. Sometimes she fell off, but every time she did, she got right back on. After several weeks, Zoe's class put on a show for all the families. When it was Zoe's turn, she hopped up onto the beam. She paused and lifted her arms and her chin. Her parents smiled and her brother and sister cheered. Her coach nodded. Zoe breathed deeply. In a moment, she would jump into the air. She didn't know if she would fall or if she would land safely, but she knew one thing. She was ready to fly.
How does the young gymnast feel when she falls? Why is celebrating the times that we fall important?
When a young gymnast falls, it can sometimes feel like the end of the world because we're taught what perfection looks like and what the perfect skill looks like, and we know what it's supposed to feel like. And when you fall, you know that it doesn't tick any of those boxes and that it is probably the most imperfect thing out there. But I don't want anybody feeling bad or feeling too discouraged. I want you to understand that you get the opportunity to try again as many times as you want. And it's okay to fall. It's okay for mistakes to happen. And there is a place in that mistake where we can learn from that. And the next time we try something again, we get to take everything we learned and put it into good use. And if we fall again, then that means there's something else that we need to look at. And every single fall means that it's one step closer to getting to exactly where you want to be. So it's exciting.
As a gymnast, balance is incredibly important to you as you practice and compete. Please talk with students about the importance of balance in other aspects of life.
I think the concept of balance is really important, and I don't know if it's talked about enough. A lot of times when we think of balance, we think of gymnasts like me having to balance on the balance beam, but that's not always the case. Sometimes we can do that with our feelings and with what happens at practice or at school too. And it's knowing that if you're feeling really excited about something, but you're also really scared, those things can stay together. You don't have to pick one. They can stay together. And that means that you're allowing balance to happen. When it comes to balancing essentially myself, my well-being, my body, my brain, and how it all works, I have to take it one step at a time. What may work for me today, like waking up early and making some tea and going outside, may not work for me tomorrow. And that's okay. It's just really checking in with myself, being honest. What is it that I need right now that will make me feel balanced? What is it that I'm missing that makes me feel a little bit lopsided? And just attending to that and not having to feel bad about it.